So I guess I made a video prematurely yesterday. It seems the NX was not announced today, which I already predicted. However, the Pokemon Company president, Tsunekazu Ishihara, he basically just not confirmed, but closely confirmed that the system was a hybrid. And that was my main point with yesterday. It's so many sources have already said it. Like if it was wrong at this point, it would be just, I mean, it would just be terrible. Because someone would have to be spreading the rumors, and it would have to be Nintendo themselves at this point for it to be fake in any ways. And I just don't believe that's the case. Like, all these people seem to already know, and the insiders for like video game journalists and stuff, like these people weren't like fake. They once they've been confirmed, it's a process to confirm them, and there's a reason why they believe these people, and that's why these game journalists have not even leaked it. They're just confirming that this is what the insiders are saying it is. So they already know people, and it's already been some really good people like Pierre from IGN and all these other people who have confirmed it. It's pretty much at this point like pretty confirmed. And then this is the best confirmation to date. Like this is the Pokemon Company. This is so related to Nintendo that if this guy was wrong, like it just would baffle everybody. Like if anyone still holds on to the hope that or the belief that this is not gonna be some hybrid console, like I mean, you just have to be so deep in denial not to see it at this point. Like at this age, at this time, right before the announcement of a console, most leaks have already been done. Especially nowadays, like it used to be much more difficult in the early 2000s for these leaks to happen. But even then, like I remember, even with the PlayStation 2, you would already know the specs. The only thing is like you didn't know what the games looked like, and that was the big deal. Like you knew everything about the system except what the gameplay is like, and that's what most people should be focusing on. A lot of people are focusing on this console not being some new way to play or whatever, and they're missing the point. The new way to play is mostly in the software and what the actual console itself can do. But I mean, there's certain things this one can do, which could lead to different ways of playing than simply it just being some mechanism in the system itself that gives you the impression that there's a new way to play. Like there's not going to be a new Wiimote, for instance. That was, I guess, for a lot of people a new way to play, and it was instantaneous. You can see it, and it would change your opinion. But even then, like during that time, we were, like I said before, we already had NES zappers before, like light guns and stuff. Like these things were already kind of similar, and in the same way, the Wiimote's similar to that. So it wouldn't be a new way to play. I mean, depending on who you talk to, they would think like it's the same thing, but it's not. It's totally different. And then the same way that this Nintendo NX is going to be the same thing. Like it's going to be something different, even though it looks like something that's already existed. The way it's used and everything is drastically different. So we shouldn't really be holding on to these great denials like that so many people have that it's going to be something different. I mean, I know a lot of people want like a highly powerful console with a normal controller. I wanted that too, but Nintendo's not doing that anymore, and there's a reason why. I believe partially it's because they feel consoles aren't selling that much, and on top of that, those consoles already exist, so in order to release that system, you would have to fracture the market some more, and you'll have less sales. And they don't want to do that, so they're going to release what they know they can sell, and they can sell tons of, and they dominate that. And that's basically some sort of handheld console. But in order to not tell her not to piss off the dedicated console market, which isn't as big as the handheld market to start off, but they don't want to piss them off, so they give them the option to connect it. And that's not surprising, like, that exists, like, and that's what they probably want to do. They just don't want to, get on people's nerves already. There's a huge console base. This is another thing that most people don't realize. There's a huge console base, but the handheld base has, for the most part, always been bigger, especially for Nintendo. And even nowadays, like the handheld base is much, much bigger than what it ever was, especially with the smartphone market on this side. Like, and especially for video games. Like in Japan, most video game companies have already ditched doing games for consoles or for PC or whatever. That does not exist. Most video game companies that have launched in recent years have only been smartphone games companies, and there's lots of money in it, and that's why they continue. And again, the Japanese market is different because they don't want to spend as much money making a game as in the US, especially not for some limited platform. So for that specific reason is only smartphone games basically come out of Japan nowadays. And Nintendo being a Japanese company, they probably saw that, and that's what has led to this game system. Like even in the U.S., you can argue that the best-selling games are smartphone games. Kind of hard because the U.S. is a bit different. I mean, people like to play games on PC and they love to play games on consoles still, but not in Japan and not in a lot of places in the world. And they see, like, I guess Nintendo's seeing this trend where everything is shifting towards the smartphone, so maybe that's why it's leading to this hybrid console. So I mean, that's to be expected. Like at this point, if you had expected anything else, you're probably too much in denial. But at the same time, like I know that feeling. I know wanting to be hopeful for the future, like wanting the thing that you really wanted. But it's best not to be too hyped up and then end up being disappointed. That's even worse in my opinion. To be so hyped up for something that you always wanted and then it never comes. And I mean, the best thing I think for now is like to accept the fact that it's a hybrid console. If you're against it, I personally love the idea. Like I believe that's the best way to go with Nintendo, especially since I think that's the future of gaming. Everything will slowly turn into like you just play everything off your smartphone and direct it to your TV. Um, and I think Nintendo's just getting a heads up on that. And I think that is the best way to go for them. And even for Microsoft, I would say the same thing. I think they've already tried it, but they just didn't know how to implement it. Just like everything else, like Microsoft's always been behind a lot of things. They missed the smartphone market, even just because they didn't know how to implement it, kind of thing. But if they just look at this now, you can just see that all video games are going to go down this route eventually, where they'll play off some sort of device like a smartphone, and you just stream it to your TV, and you pick up a controller that's separate, you play the game, but it's still streaming from your phone or whatever device. But it's something like, I'm guessing it's going to be something like that, and Nintendo's just going ahead and doing that right now. And that is the best thing they can do. And then this system doesn't look bad. It looks really, really good. It might have PlayStation 4 quality graphics. I don't think so. It'll have Wii U probably graphics, better than Wii U, slightly better. But even then, that's super impressive, especially for some handheld device. Like if you compare it right now, I would say the 3DS is a better system than the Wii U, because the Wii U didn't get as many creative and impressive games. They did get a lot of creative games, like Splatoon and all these other great games, but the Wii U was really lacking in them, in my opinion, compared to the 3DS. The 3DS was just full of games, like tons and tons of games, and they were all tons of fun. But if only Nintendo had put more effort into the Wii U, it would have been better. So having this hybrid console is the best thing ever, because now Nintendo can put all their effort into it, not just half effort or less than half. You know, you don't want them to half-ass it, in other words. Like, they'll actually to put their whole ass into this. This is gonna be great. So like, this console is gonna be fantastic, and we already have it confirmed at this point what it is. Like, we can all kind of calm down and expect the reveal soon. Like, we don't have to be super hyped up because we kind of know what it is already. We kind of expect what we don't know specifically, again, is what the games are going to be like. That's the most exciting part. That's what I want to know most about. What games are going to come out on this? How are they going to look? And how are they going to play? Like, I know it's kind of misleading because I remember I desperately wanted to play like the PlayStation 2, and I was so disappointed because I was so hyped up, and I would hate anyone else to go through that as well. Like, I was so hyped up for that PlayStation 2, and then I saw all these games, and I bought something like Summoner, because I was into RPGs at the time, and I was like, this is going to be great, and I played it, and it was this PlayStation 1 kind of graphics, only they looked slightly more clean. It was just awful. But in this case, like, the hype might be warranted, but at the same time, it's not good to be so hyped up that you just are misled by your own hype, is what I'm saying. So, like, there's no need to overthink this. Like, we already know what it is. Let's just see what the games are, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be amazing. Like, especially if they're Wii U or above Wii U graphics. That was pretty good graphics. Even to nowadays, they're still pretty decent. I know some people say they're not, but in a handheld device that you can take anywhere, it's super impressive. So like, just imagine the games they can play on them, and then you'll see all these amazing games come out. The only thing I'm hoping for is that they don't ditch the Wii U entirely, and some of these games that they do release on the 3DS, I mean on the Nintendo NX, will actually come out on the Wii U as well. I don't think that's gonna happen. Since the Wii U seems to be completely dead at this time. Not really. There's like one or two games in, but still, it's pretty like it's a desert, and this always happens. Like this happened with the N64 too, on its final days, and I think I'm not sure if it happened with the Wii as much because the Wii constantly had games even until the Wii U got released. It still had games, but it happened with just about every Nintendo console, specifically the GameCube and the N64. But anyways, this just shows that Nintendo's already moved on, and we're gonna have to expect something great from the NX, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great, since the Wii U pretty much didn't have many great like first party Nintendo games. Like it had a lot of amazing new type of games, but all those franchises like Metroid and Legend of Zelda, none of that actually came out like brand new on the Nintendo Wii U. Like it, and not even I would argue that not even a 3D Mario game came out. I mean, because we got 3D Super Mario 3D World, but that game itself wasn't exactly like a brand new Mario idea. Like it was just a game that was released on the 3DS. Then a new version of it released on the Wii U. It wasn't something groundbreaking like you would come to expect from Nintendo. So I would argue that we didn't even get a new Mario game. So next system, like I'm expecting all these great ideas that they had at the Wii to release on the Nintendo Wii U will be released from the NX. So the hype is real. Like I can't wait to see these games. I really can't wait. We already know what the console is. We just need to be patient and just wait, because like we totally know what it is now. Like we don't need to second guess this at this point. Like it's been confirmed so much. If it's anything different, it'll be the greatest surprise ever at this point, and that should be even more fantastic. Like if you're gonna be disappointed that it changes when the announcement comes out, I don't know what to tell you, but I would be super excited just that we were completely wrong. But at this point it just seems like we can't even be wrong. We know what it is. It's a hybrid console it's a handheld kind of device with, I guess, detachable controllers that attaches to your TV somehow. It might have detachable controllers, we don't know. Anyways, that's it. I'm out, signing out. Bye guys.